evaluator for the day. Now, as a general evaluator, I will be observing each and every role player whomsoever comes and performs on the virtual platform, whether he or she is a speaker, evaluator, or any role player. It would be my pleasure to also welcome the distinguished guests who will be joining us for the meeting and also figure out what is their feedback, what is the thing going on in their mind, so that everybody is enjoying the meeting and is being welcomed, taken care. And I'm sure at the end of the meeting, we all need to have some kind of reflections, some kind of learnings, so that we enhance and tone our communication as well as leadership skills. To help me with this general evaluation, I have got my three trio leaders, as I would appreciate if we all remember and remember these three as Lal, Bal, and who was the other one? If we talk about the independence, let me see who remembers. If the first one is Lal, second one is Bal. Yes. Oh, wow. Thanks a lot for adding this energy and contributing. Well, so I'm going to invite my trio team to help me with this evaluation round. And today it is my pleasure to have a youngest Toastmaster in the room who is always ready and eager to learn more and contribute with his value and experience. I'm sure by now you must have guessed who is the youngest Toastmaster in the room. So let us welcome the eagerly waiting who is going to enrich us in learning our grammatical skills as well. So let us welcome him on the virtual platform with a big round of applause. Let's welcome TM Madhusudan. Over to you.
Good morning, Toastmaster of the day, General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. Today, I will be the grammarian for today's meeting. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers and observe their language usage, as also incorrect usage of grammar, as also saving good sayings, thoughts, quotations. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to introduce word of the day. The word of the day for today's meeting is obdurate, which means stubbornly refusing to change one's opinion or course of action. Used as a sentence. Despite the heavy rain and storm and violent winds, the villagers were obdurate to leave their homes. I request all members and speakers to use word of the day in their speeches and request audience members and guests to show thumbs up or applause when word of the day is used during the meeting. Over to you. I will give my report when called upon by the general evaluator. Besides the grammarian role, I am also asked to play the active listener role also. So I will be asking few questions, if time permits, about the today's event. Over to you.
Wow, thanks a lot. So this is the kind of energy what we expect from every person who is here today. He is retired but not tired. So let us learn something more today. I'm sure when we will be calling him again for the report as a grammarian and as an active listener, please be very observant and be ready to learn something amazing from him. Now it is time for me to welcome another role player who is going to help me as well in monitoring the R's and ums. So please welcome Toastmaster Pooja, who is a seasoned Toastmaster and a versatile personality. Please put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Pooja.
Can I have my visible? Yeah. Good morning,
Yes,
everyone.
you are half visible, but we will be happy to have the full glimpse of you. Yes, it is much better now. We can carry on.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. I am the R counter of the day. As R counter, I will note the sounds and use the French word of fillers by the speakers. During the meeting, I will listen to the French words such as and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen to the filler sounds such as I will note when the speaker repeats the phrases that is not needed and for a long or short pauses. I will give my report at the end, followed by the general director. Over to you, Madam General Director.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Pooja. Now I have third role player who is a person who is working as a sales manager and an engineer by heart. And he is just a 4 months old Toastmaster in Globetrotters. And he is Toastmaster Janendra. So please put your hands together to welcome our timer of the day.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Good morning, all the guests and fellow Toastmasters. I'm going to play the role of a timer today. The timer role is very important, as not only you have to be flawless in delivering your speeches, but also you have to monitor the time limit that you have gotten. So there will be three sections of speeches. First is the prepared speech section. The second is the table topics, followed by an evaluation section. So for the prepared speech section, the time allotted varies as per the project. For the icebreaker speech, it is 4 to 6 minutes. And for the other speeches, it is 5 to 7 minutes. For table topic, the time allotted is 1 to 2 minutes. And for evaluation, the time allotted is 2 to 3 minutes. I'll be displaying three different cards at three different timelines. Will be So let me just start with sharing my screen. If you are if you are able to see my screen, then just give me an hands up.
I hope he has been given the rights to share the screen. Just check.
I
Yes.
hope you are okay. Cool. So I will display the green card for prepared speech section at the end of 5 minutes.
It's
I
not
hope.
visible. Just make sure you are sharing the screen.
Yeah, I have shared my screen and it is being displayed on my screen. Just give me a heads up if you're looking at the green screen.
No, timer, it's not visible.
Stop sharing and reshare. Please check
Achha,
it from your end.
let me just restart this screen.
Because I will also need to share the screen later.
Now it is visible.
Now it is visible. Okay. So I'll share the screen at the end of 5 minutes. Yellow screen at the end of 6 minutes.
It's not visible now. Yes, it's coming.
I'm not able to share my entire screen. Uh, is it okay now?
Just click on the yellow card.
I'm sorry. I think my bandwidth
It's
is
okay. It's
little.
okay. No need of saying sorry. Just carry on. Yes,
And
it's
the red
visible.
card after 7 minutes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Absolutely fine.
Yes. So for the table topic, the time allotted is 1 to 2 minutes. So green card at the end of 1 minute, yellow card at the end of 1.5 minutes, red card at the end of 2 minutes, and for the evaluation, the time allotted is 2 to 3 minutes. So green card after 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes yellow card, and 3 minutes red card. All of you will be getting a grace period of 30 seconds. So just be cautious of the time that you are taking. and I will share the timelines to you, and I will just when called upon the general evaluator, I will give my reports to all of you. So all the best, and welcome to the 90th meeting. Over to you,
Thanks
ma'am.
a lot. Thank you very much, timer, for the day. Learning is a never ending process. So don't worry if you are at a very rough position, rough situation, or you feel that you are pretty new in the system, you are learning some things. Don't worry. The idea is to keep learning, keep improving. Every day you should grow more and learn more. Don't worry. At the end of the day, we are all learners, isn't it? Okay. Now, I would also advise and suggest grammarian for the day to please share the word in the chat box for everybody's benefit. It is time for me to give the stage back to the Toastmaster of the day. I will be on the stage back with my report when he invites me. Thank you. Back to the TMOD.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator, for taking the responsibility of guiding us through the session today and also introducing your team to the entire meeting. Now, uh, now we shall begin with the first section of the meeting, that is the prepared speeches. And for that, what I see, we have only one prepared speech for today. And through the prepared speeches, our speakers will showcase their skills on delivering a speech, which they have practiced over time. The first speaker for today is Toastmaster Ruby. Just a second. Yeah. Okay, my internet is a bit.
TMOD, we can't hear you.
Yeah. Hello.
His voice.
He is also facing issues. Yeah.
I hope I'm audible now.
Yes, perfect.
Great. Just a second. So here today, so we have the first speaker for today, that is Toastmaster Ruby, and she will be taking us through her speech. The title of the speech is by Pygmalion. And Toastmaster Ruby here is a teacher by profession, and she currently lives in Bangalore and is preparing for further studies, for which she has taken a break from her main work. She will be delivering her she'll be delivering her level 1 project 2 speech on the pathways yeah, on the pathway presentation mastery. The evaluator for Toastmaster Ruby is Toastmaster Ankan. So this is I'd like to share something about Toastmaster Ankan. So when I asked him to share his a brief introduction, he's like, okay, anything you said will be fine, is fine by me. And that just goes on to showcase how down to earth of a person he is. He believes, to me, it shows that he believes in no titles and embellishments and is okay with just a very brief introduction. He's been a part of the Toastmasters fraternity for the past 2.5 years, and I would like to give this stage to Toastmaster Ankan to take us through the speech for today. I mean, for Toastmaster Ruby, and what is the project details and what shall be the focus on the speech be.
Thank you very much, sir, TMOD. So a few months back, I read a book called Ikigai, where it is mentioned a life is incomplete without a purpose. And I strongly believe, like life, a good speech is also incomplete without a purpose. And it has been immense pleasure to share that today, Speaker One is in her journey of presentation mastery pathway, level 1, project 2 she is delivering, which is learning how to deliver a speech with a purpose. So in this project, the speaker has to learn how to write, speak with a purpose, and then she has to deliver on any topic a speech, but with a purpose. Dear timer, please note the time for this speech is 5 to 7 minutes. So green at 5, yellow at 6, and red at 7. With this, may the force be with you, Speaker 1, for delivering a speech with a true purpose. And with this, over to you, Satyamod.
Thank you for that introduction to the speech. I shall hand over the stage to our speaker here, Toastmaster Ruby. Toastmaster Ruby, the title for your speech is by Pygmalion. Toastmaster Ruby, the e-podium is all yours.
Thank you, Mr. T.M. Modi. Please show me a thumbs up if I'm visible and audible. Okay. So, good morning, my fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Can you tell me what the motto of the Toastmaster Club is? Anyone?
To enhance communication skills as well as leadership skills.
Well, it is in website. It is written that where leaders are met. Yes. Now, what according to you, what are the three main? What do you think? What are the three main qualities a leader should have? You can share your views. Anyone? You can share your views.
He should be empathetic.
Yes. What
Motivated.
else? Yes.
He or she should motivate others.
Yes, of course. And in this respect, I think one very important quality of a leader is to be like Pygmalion. Now you might be thinking, who is this Pygmalion? Pygmalion was a Greek mythological sculptor who carved a statue of a woman so perfectly that he himself fell in love with it. His love for this inanimate woman was so divine that Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty, had to bring life into it, making it a very beautiful lady named Galatea. Later, in 19th century, famous playwright George Bernard Shaw, inspired by this story, wrote a play named Pygmalion, where a very learned professor of linguistics, Mr. Henry Higgins, takes a challenge to turn Eliza Doolittle, a very poor flower girl, into an aristocratic lady by teaching her social etiquettes and manners. There's a famous Hollywood adaptation also of this story named My Fair Lady, played by very beautiful, ever beautiful, I would rather say, Audrey Hepburn as the protagonist, Eliza Doolittle. Now you may ask how this story is related to the quality of leadership. Well, many research across the globe find that to become a good leader, one should have the quality in believing others' potentiality in a positive manner, just as the Greek hero or the Professor Higgins did. In the field of education, management, or any other organization, this phenomena is known as the Pygmalion effect, where our behavior, our belief in someone else's potentiality affect our behavior towards that person, which in turn affect their belief in themselves, making it a cycle of positive environment. Let me share an experience of my life. Last year, December, our school, like every year, organized the annual function for the kids. There only one rule was that every student has to participate in participation in some activity. There were many students who were very enthusiastic and energetic, but at the same time, there were many students who were meek and kind of shy. As a teacher, our responsibility and our challenge was to motivate them that they can do best in their performance. So we selected an act for the performance. We started practicing. We started giving them rehearsal every day regularly. And with that, we started motivating them continuously. We never make them believe that they can't do it. And even after making so much practice, there in the final stage rehearsal also, they were making some mistakes. But we never told them that they are not good. We always make them believe that they are going to rock the performance. And guess what? That day, that evening, that performance was the best performance of the evening. And it was a really cherishable moment for all of us. Now, in the leadership also, if a leader always believe in his or her team's potentiality, or always motivates them and make them believe that the leader believes in them, the leader believes that they can do best, then the performance of the team will be excel in many ways. Now, a question may arise that what if we don't have a Pygmalion or we don't have someone to motivate us? Then what? Well, in that situation, we have to Pygmalion ourselves. We have to make a good relationship with ourselves. We have to make big goals for ourselves, and we have to always encourage ourselves to achieve them. And that's how I think we can be a good leader in life. What do you think? Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ruby, for that very insightful speech and leaving us with a thought to ponder upon. So with that, we have come to the end of our prepared speeches section. What I would also want to ask every one of us who's attending this session to go ahead and let us reflect on our own individual journeys towards independence. What areas of independence or what meaning of independence do you resonate the most with? I would like and ask the attendees here to share their own experiences about the challenges that they have faced and how they have overcome. If anyone would like to just share a bit of a story of their own life, and let us all be a part of their lives. Yeah, DTM Richa, please go ahead.
Good morning, all of you. Well, today I'm here to share some secrets with you, as invited and requested by the Toastmaster of the day. As a child, I used to be very shy. And as a daughter of an elite business family, I have been very protected and always enjoyed all the luxuries of life. But when I started with my graduation, I thought that instead of sitting idle and waiting for the college to open and start with the classes, I just started working. And that is how gradually I was able to overcome my shyness and hesitation. And you won't believe, it was almost like 10 years that I was training in different universities and colleges pan India. I trained more than 10 batches of MBA and then was told by my HOD, Madam, it will be better if you yourself also apply for MBA admission. It doesn't look good when the teacher herself is not cleared the same course, what she is trying to motivate or tell others. Preaching is easy, but it is better if you yourself implement the same learnings, what you are telling others. So I thought, yes, it's not too bad. I should take it as a positive thing, and I enrolled myself for MBA. Even after doing MBA, I figured out that I had been giving feedback to so many people, but there has to be some person who can help me in my own evaluation. And that is how I came across a wonderful place. And do you know what is that? Our own Toastmasters International Organization. And it was 2015 December when I became a Toastmaster. So believe me, my friends, don't think that it is too late. Don't worry wheresoever you are, no matter how harsh the situation is and in whatsoever mode you are. Everything happens, but just be determined. Thank you, TMOD.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your session, your story with us today. And it is quite insightful. Where many a times where in life we are in this dilemma of whether to approach ahead or to just take a step back and rethink our decision, and make in the hope of making a better choice. And this story actually reflects on how important it is to be mentored and guided through life and learning from other people's experience, which is where Toastmasters helps us a lot by giving us this great platform to hone our skills and get better advice and mentorship. Anyone else who would like to go ahead and share their own stories, I would just be, it would be lovely. So, sure, Toastmaster Janendra, please, the podium is yours.
Yes. So I think the independence word has different facets to it. You can be independent in your own way. So, for example, I want to talk about the financial freedom, which was like the first job that I got after my engineering, and that freedom is that gives you so much of confidence to make your own choices, to make to go and uh, pursue your passion, whatever things that you have not done because of other financial issues, that may be because of your families and the other dependents, where you don't have the you do not have that fascination of taking all the passion points. But this the first job that I got gave me a lot of confidence. I have been a very shy person, but the moment you step into a corporate field, you get to meet a lot of people, you get to learn from your peers, you get to learn from your supervisors. And I think right, the moment you step into this career, and then everything changes about you. You start to so I am a very I was not a very fashion feasta before, but after after joining my office, I wanted to take up I wanted to buy all the fashion jeans. I did not have jeans also in my college, but so I uh, I took all the I actually spent a lot, and I'm still trying to cut down on my shopping. But then it gives a lot of confidence, and this is I think financially freedom is one thing that everyone should take up, because it gives a lot of confidence, and it gives the purpose, and it drives you. Actually, it's the fuel to your entire system. So uh, yeah, financial freedom is one independent that I have, that has changed me a lot. So yeah, over to you.
Yep. Thank you, Toastmaster Janendra, for sharing this story. Yeah, I guess you're absolutely right with the financial freedom, that it drives our confidence so much. And many a times, sure, I hope Toastmaster Ankan has something to say. Yeah. Oh, you're not audible, I believe. Anyway. He-
Oh, sorry, I was on mute.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, Toastmaster of the day, I would like to say one of the very important thing in life is being independent of what others are saying and driving your life based on what others are saying. So there is a difference between a feedback and thinking too much of what others are saying. Okay. So for example, you want to be a big entrepreneur, but you are not working hard. You are sleeping, doing all type of time wasting. Now someone came to me and said, do not waste your time. Otherwise, you can't be a good entrepreneur. That is something, a feedback, and you must adhere to that. But you want to be an entrepreneur, and someone is coming and saying, "Oh no, I expect you done a lot after doing your MBA from a prestigious B school." So that is like being influenced on by what someone else is saying, which is not aligned with your goal. So don't be influenced by what others are saying if that is not aligned with your goal, and you must be independent of that.
Yeah, that's totally true. So we should be cognizant of other people's thoughts, but we should always make decisions based on our own judgment of whatever is presented to us. I would also like to relate this with what Toastmaster Janin said. So on financial freedom and being able to make your own choices. So I would just like to share this story that while recently I made a purchase of I bought a new phone a few months back, and the choice was not very what you would call it traditional, in the sense that I went ahead with the phone, unlike what the trend is nowadays with a bigger screen. I went ahead for a smaller screen phone, and what many of my friends and people around me were suggesting is to, when I actually got the phone after that, it was on, why would you get this one? There are so much better option with a bigger screen, bigger processor and all of that, better configurations. But so I made a decision based on what I wanted, based on my requirements, and not, and while being aware of course, the the opinions what other people might have. And what allowed me to make go ahead and with that was the financial freedom that I had to make that purchase, and yeah, actually do things on my own terms. So yeah, I guess freedom for all of us has different meanings and different epiphanies that come with different kinds of freedom that we achieve in our lives. With this, I guess we've been very I feel blessed to have known different stories coming from our attendees in today's session. I would like to move ahead to another very exciting part of today's meeting, that is the table topics section. And I'm very delighted to introduce our table topics. For today, it's a little different. We are having not a traditional table topic section, but a workshop on how to have table topics. And the workshop will be conducted by a very esteemed Toastmaster here, Toastmaster Arindam Mishra. Toastmaster Arindam Mishra has been a part of the Toastmasters fraternity for about 2 years now, and he's been with GTC from the very initial stages. He was the first SA here in GTC, then the treasurer, and then the immediate past secretary for DTC for GTC, which he is currently. He loves to travel, read, and write. And by profession, he's a banker, but he's a writer by heart. And his main objective of being a part of being a Toastmaster is to come out of his introvert nature and to make new friends around here. Now, I would like to hand over the stage to our very beloved Toastmaster Anindam. Over to you, Toastmaster Anindam.
Thank you so much. Please keep the applause going for our Toastmaster of the day. I feel so humbled and honored. Now, before I start this session, let me request everyone to just switch on your videos so that to make it a bit more interactive and make it feel less robotic as such. If everybody, whoever is present, can just switch on their videos, that would be really helpful. So, table topics. Let me ask you, do you feel scared whenever it times for table topics? Like, do you really feel scared whenever it times for table topics? Madam
Yes.
President has raised her hand. Madam
Yes.
General Evaluator has said a yes, and everybody is showing hands up. Okay, so Here, everybody has raised hand to the fact that they were scared for table topics. But do you hesitate to raise your hands when it is time for you to volunteer? At that time, can I see a raise of hands? I guess not. Okay. So that means that time and again, minds of even the most ablest Toastmaster in this fraternity go blank when you receive a table topic. Now, we have all been there. It is said to be the bane of Toastmaster, rather the bane of every Toastmaster. And sometimes, funnily, table topics are known as terror topics. We dread it, but we know the importance of table topics, or rather impromptu speaking. It is useful when it comes to job interviews, small talks, or being asked for a last minute prep word to your subordinates at work. And so I decided to master this skill. I'm still under construction. Won't say that I have reached or attained any ultimate mastery in this thing, but I try to learn. And I believe table topics can be the most exciting session or part in any Toastmaster session that you see or attend to over time. So what I have ever learned is that answering table topics is just like giving a regular speech. It has a structure, of course. And once you understand what structure to use based on the question, you can answer any topic easily. And I bet on it. You can answer any table topics very easily. So today I will be focusing more on the structures. I have come up with 8 structures regarding how you can attain a table topic, be it any table topic that you have been given to. I hope I am making everyone able to understand with what I am saying. So if we are to start, so there can be the first thing, that is the first structure, to be honest, is prep. So what is prep? Prep is an acronym for point, reason, example, and point. You may note it down if you want. It's known as point, reason, example, and point. Now, this is the most common topic for understanding or answering any table topic. Most people do this unknowingly, as it is the most natural way of answering any question. Coming to the point, the first part, the PREP, point. So what is point? First, make your point. That is the I agree that principle. You can agree or disagree with a topic. That is how you make your point. And you can answer the question directly, or you can just simply state your position whenever somebody gives you a table topic. That is how you state your point. The next topic that comes in the prep principle is reason. Now, table topics are not something that you do out of the blue. If you are making a point, you need to provide adequate reason of why you are making that point. Now, people without basic conversational skill at this point shall just reply with a yes or no type of reply to a yes or no type of question. Please do interject if you're not able to understand. What I mean to say is, while you make a point at the first, you must justify why you made that point. That is your reasoning. Because I can just say that the sky is not blue, the sky is red. But then I need to justify it, why I say it. That is the second part of how you can approach table topics to the prep methodology. The next come example. That is the E. Now, a table topic looks bland if you do not back it up with an example. Like I can just state very normally about a point, then justify it. But if I do not give any example, and that too, for me, I believe any example from any personal anecdote, your table topic might go blank, especially while you are attaining any, any contest. At that time, mostly your judgments happen by the fact that how much examples you can quote from your real life in the table topic and how you can incorporate it with your topic. And finally is the P again, the point. That is, you restate your point. Hence, I said so. Thus, this is what I said at the start. With the best and most effective medium stated to be a call to action. If you end your P, if you end your point with a call to action where you put an open-ended choice for your listeners by telling them that this is what you can do at the end, that would actually engage your table topic, or that would actually culminate your table topic, encapsulate it in a very effective manner. Now, I said about prep, PREP, point, reason, example, point. You can replace the P for your better understanding with O, and then the PREP becomes Oreo, the biscuit. So here it's not about the biscuit. Here O means opinion. So what I meant to say was P, the point that you're making is your own opinion that you take a stand upon. That is your opinion on the topic, and how you are able to justify it with proper reasoning and example, and asserting it at the end that how, if you can justify it, you can actually ask your audience to do the same, and they might see the result out of it. Let me just state an example. Let's say the topic is something like life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. Do you agree? Let's say this is the table topics. Okay. At that, if you are to break these table topics in a prep format, first of all, you will say, you will point out, you will give your opinion that yes, I agree that life is not about what happens to you, but how you react to it. Then you might be able to put a reason that I believe that adversity is a fuel of greatness. And we all have heard many stories of people from poverty who later on went on to become very successful. And you quote an example of somebody uh, who have been very, full of adversity at the start, but right now doing very well in life. Let's say if we are to quote someone from cricket nowadays, then our current opener, Mr. Yashasvi Jaiswal, can be compared to it. His father is just a seller in a stall. They did not have a place to live, and right now he is a big name in Indian cricket. Similarly, like this is how you try to justify your point that life is what, or life is how you react to it. The point. So you try to give an example, a real life example. If you are to give an example of your life, it is great. If you are to put an example of someone else's life, that's great too. And finally, you come to the point, the assertiveness, the CTA, or as they say, the call to action, where you say that hence I agree that life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react to it. And the call to action shall be something like this. So, ladies and gentlemen, the next time you are met with hardship, use that as a fuel to propel you to greatness. I hope you understand where we talk about the reason part, where you said that I believe that adversity is a fuel to greatness. You put your call to action in that mode so that people connect to it, that you gave your reasoning in that point, and you then later on put your assertion at the end and bring a call to action to the same point. I hope I'm able to make you all understand in this point, right? This was the first thing. Now coming to the second topic. The second way or method can be called as the pendulum method. Now, what is a pendulum method? The pendulum method is something like a pendulum where you swing between both sides of the argument. And this is used when you can't decide whether you agree or disagree with the question, or you when you feel that a question or a point has merit from both the sides. Now, here also it's just like prep. You start with your one side, the first side. Like this is a two-ended topic where you take the first side and you say that whether you agree or not agree on that point. And similarly, just like the prep view, you then justify why you agree to that side. Clear? And then you move to the third part, that is you move to the other side, because here you are not fully able to take a stand on the side that you are going to take, right? Let's say apples or oranges and you both like and you like both the fruits, so you cannot take a stand of which one you would prefer as a favorite, right? So first of all you take the point of apple, that yes, I agree that apple is the best fruit between the two, and then you justify the reason. And then you swing to the other side, you take the stand of orange and you justify why it is the best fruit. And then finally, at the end, you choose that though I like both, but if I am to indeed take a stand, then I would say apple might be a slightly better fruit than orange, or orange means the other end, right? So in this way, you're not taking a full-on stand on something where you do not know or where you are confused in a way as to what point you need to take. Now, it might sound quite like a jargon if you are to believe, but believe me, every topic that there is in table topic sections shall, one way or the other, lie in the 8 structures that I would talk about. And you will feel that if you can connect with what I am saying, you can actually ace any table topics there is. Now, if we are to talk about this pendulum method and take an example, a quick example. So it's something like, do you think it is important to have a New Year resolution? That is the topic. And so, first of all, here, suppose you cannot take a stand that you think it is important to have a New Year's resolution. So, you start with something like on the stand of New Year resolution that something like, or let's say you start with the fact that you do not like New Year resolution. So, you say that I do not believe in New Year's resolution because studies have proven again and again that most people do not fulfill their needs resolution. And then you certainly give an example to explain your view. Let's say you take an example of a gym where you see that in first of or from 1st of January, every gym is jam packed because people have thought that we will work on our fitness for this year. Then until February, the gym is just vacant again. So saying that, you move to the other side. That this is why I believe that uh, the New Year resolution is not a good part. But saying that, saying that, I would also like to stress that resolutions do not have a time, right? Resolutions is all about taking goals. So when anybody says about New Year's resolution, it's like about taking a goal at 1st of January. But saying it or putting it in a benchmark of New Year's resolution can be a bit cliched. So rather than focusing on one particular day for putting up a goal, you should always make your life in such a manner that you are targeting goals every day and working on it, right? So you take a stand, first of all, with something that is against New Year resolution, and then you take up the second approach where you say that no, New Year's resolution are something that cannot be looked down as in but rather resolution as a word shall be, understood as goal. And if it is taken on 1st of January, well and good, but taking a goal as such on any particular day is important enough or is efficient enough if you are working on, right? And then you conclude by again taking a call to action by saying that, my friends, set a goal that excites you every day and work towards it. Don't wait till the 1st of January to do that. Right? So here you have not outrightly denied resolutions, but then you have also not accepted the fact that resolutions can be taken only on a particular day. I hope I am able to make you understand, right? The third topic, the third structure as such, is that of the balance. Now, it is also very similar to the pendulum method, where you explore both sides of the argument, but instead of choosing any path, like in the earlier example, we saw that you at least took a path that resolutions can be translated to something like, objectives of your life or goals of your life. Here, you need not to take any path. You just take a neutral stand on. And this is used when you feel that both sides do not have any merits, right? In the earlier example, there is a subtle difference. In the earlier example, you feel both sides have merits. So let me just, swing on both sides and choose the best out of both. But here you believe that both sides do not have merit. So I would not stand at any point of the topic. Rather, I'll take a very neutral stand. Okay. So first of all, you state your neutral point here. Okay. And saying it to be, politically correct or incorrect, trying to justify the fact that why you are neutral. And while you justify that, the next point shall be explanation of both the sides that are given to you, right? Because it is a two-ended topic. So you understand both the side, you define it in a very crisp manner, and slowly, then what you do, you try to explain both the sides and tell why both has certain demerits, and that's why you take a neutral stand. You again reassert your neutral stand and then give a call to action. It is very important in any table topic to give or to end your journey of the table topic with a call to action, right? Like, let's say this is quite a religious topic, so pardon me if I say anything that is incorrect, but I will try to keep these sentiments alive. So it's like, would you rather be religious or an atheist? Now, here you try to be like going by the norms of also Toastmaster, that we cannot talk about sex, religion, or politics in a derogatory manner. You try to adhere to that quote. Pardon me. So you try to adhere to that quote and try to be, a bit neutral. And then you talk about how religious dogma has actually led to a lot of violence in the world. In that angle, you can talk about the wrong aspects of religion. And then while you talk about the demerits of atheism, you talk like how an atheistic person cannot actually trust another atheistic person and rather focuses on somebody who is religious to be more trustworthy. And gain in on those points and talk about both those demerits, that although atheism is something that focuses on justifications, um, understanding of differences and beliefs, but even at the end of the day, all the atheists believe that those persons who are religious in nature are much more trustworthy than them. Whereas, while you talk about the demerits of religion, you talk about that religion to be understood in a very moderate aspect is good, but if you go at the extremities of it, that might lead to war and violence. And then you offer a very alternative solution to it. That is, you stand your neutral point, where you say that instead, like an atheist, We should embrace our differences and beliefs, and like a religious person, we should have faith, not specifically in God or Allah, but just have faith. With faith guiding us, I believe that the world will be a more inclusive place for everyone. Right? I admit that this is a rather extreme example, but and I mean no disrespect. It's just an example. But this is how you state your neutral point, where you believe that both sides do not have any kind of merit, or you do not see merit in both of it, and you take a neutral point. Right? Coming to the fourth structure, that is what we call as the light bulb method. What is the light bulb method? Can anybody, guess what it is? Anybody? What is the light
Discuss
bulb method?
very and some idea because light bulb to me depicts the notion of having some idea about something, and
Okay.
something that just
Yep.
clicks and comes to your mind. Maybe that.
Is it like
You're
adding
quite near.
creativity? Is it like adding creativity?
Both of you are very near, but now let me justify it. Why light bulb? Now you remember those cartoon and comic characters getting a certain brilliant idea and a light bulb brightens up in their head. That's when they have a solution to their problem, right? So light bulb here means that finding a solution to a problem. Now, sometimes any table topic can be a type of a problem statement that you need to justify and at the end culminate it with providing a solution, right? So that is what light bulb method is. So whenever you are given a statement like that, a table topic that is an open-ended problem, so you state that problem statement, right? Then you just do not directly go to the solutions. Most people do that. Most people in table topic, when they attain a problem statement, they directly talk about the problem and then go to the solution. They miss a very important part, and that is the second part of this, and that is the cause. Why that problem happened at the first place, right? Like, let's say somebody has told you corruption in India is your table topic, right? That is a problem statement in a way. Now, if you directly say that corruption in India is a problem, the solution is more transparency in governmental work or in perspectives of people. But you never went on to say what is the cause of that corruption in the first place, right? So here the cause is very important. And then come that light bulb moment where you offer a solution, where you offer a solution to the problem statement given to you and sum it up with a call to action, right? Because it is a problem that has been faced by almost all the people, in this case our audiences too. So if you try to find a solution and promote it or endorse it, you prove or you provide a call to action that yes, this is how, this is a solution, and you can take it up and apply it, and you will find the result. Let me just provide you an example and it would get clarified more. Example topic is that the rich networks, the poor just works. So the topic is the rich networks and the poor just works. Okay. So the problem is that we all have heard of the phrase that your net worth is your net worth, right? Yet, why do most people still are introverted in their nature? Why do they do not connect to people? Even in table topics that we see, people do not come up and talk about it, right? Cause is what? So that is the problem statement, that even if we believe that our net worth is defined by our network, we yet not, or we still not come up with the courage to speak, to network with people. What is the cause? The cause is simple, that from school we have been taught how to garner more marks, how to get a good job, then how to marry a good person, and then retire at 60, right? But even while we were learned or taught about English, English language, English literature, we were never taught about communicative English. We were never taught how to communicate. Now, even if we are well educated, we lack in that communication skills. Toastmaster, for that matter, is a school where we learn about that skill that we very much missed from our school and college days, right? So that is the cause. Now, what is the solution to that? The solution is like simple. You say that it's time to take back responsibility in your life, where you do not just take that easy route, where you like get good grades, get good marks, get a job, marry a good person, live happily, retire. That is the set pattern of life that have been told by our peers, by our elders, and we follow it. So the solution shall be that let's take back responsibility in your life. If you think that you lack communication skill, and that is why your net worth is not being a sum of your network, so all you can do is to go learn that skill, take a course, get a mentor, join Toastmasters for that matter, right? If you're talking about a Toastmaster concept, emphasize on this Toastmasters point so that it would actually put a brim of smile on the face of the judges. And then at the call to action, you say that if you hate networking events like I do, then there are other ways to build up your network. Join a class or event of like-minded people and make a lasting relationship on common grounds like enhancing your communication skill. I hope you understand, right? So whenever you are given with a problem statement, first of all, you state that problem. Then you talk about the cause of that problem. And finally, you provide a solution and ultimately provide a very practical solution to your audience that how could they come up or cope up or overcome with that problem, because I believe that everybody shall have that problem in an amount or two, right? So if you provide that call to action, they might try it, right? And your table topic shall be an effective one, right? We have finished 50% of our workshop. Now there are 4 more structures that we shall talk about, right? So I hope you understand about the first 4 part, right? So when we talk about the pendulum method, where another is the light bulb method that we talk about, then we talk about how to take a balanced approach, and finally we talk about the method of prep. Okay, till now any question until now of the structure? If anybody is not able to understand whatever I am saying and just thinking that what boring thing is, if not, then let me proceed with the 5th structure, that is the timeline method. Okay, there can be very much topics like, I mean, to start with, human mind is fleeting, right? Whatever we think today or whatever we have opinions about today might not be the same 10 years ago, might not be the same 10 years later, right? Today we might be a very liberal person. Maybe 10 years ago we were highly religious. Maybe 10 years later we would become complete atheist, right? This might happen. And there can be topics related to just this, where you need not to certainly agree or disagree with the topic or even take a stand. You just need to emphasize on your standpoints at different point of your life, right? Because until now you have different stages of your life. Say you are given a topic, you emphasize on how you thought about it in the past, what do you think about it in the present, and what you might think about it in the future, and then conclude it, right? So in the past you might define how you thought about that particular topic while you are a kid. Now at the present you might say that how you think about it as a working professional, or let's say a college student, right? And in the future you might tell about how you might think of it while you get retired or get old and encapsulate the topic in that way. Now, you might say that where is the conclusion, right? So the timeline method necessarily does not need to be your opinion at something or at different stages of your life. It could be fact about someone or some place at different timeline. Okay. And then conclude with the fact that how or how you can actually understand it from different perspectives. Let's take an example. If the example is very simple, like just wonder, these are very commonsensical notions that you get, but you do not try to, or we forget to understand it in these nuanced manners. So the topic is very simple. If you are given, what is your greatest fear in life? Right? Let's say you do not take a stand from this point, and you take a stand from the aspect that past, present, and future. Okay, from a timeline method. So you let's say that in the past, when I was a little boy, my fears were very simple. Come to think about it, it is laughable what those fears were. Maybe those fears ranged from cockroaches, boredom, darkness. Those were the common fears I had as a child because life was simple back then. But now, life has become complex to me, right? So for me, my greatest fear at this point of time is fear of rejection. I fear being rejected by the girl I like. I fear being rejected at the job that I covet. I fear being rejected at the basketball team that I want to play for, right? And when fear like this happened, it was painful. And even now, at the present moment, the fears that I have right now, that is the fear of rejection, also makes me painful. Now, if you say that that is my fears in the past, now it is the fears of my present, what shall be the fears of my future? Now, no one can be certain for sure, but for the near future, I fear not leaving a legacy. I fear not being known to others. I fear that nobody would cry when I die. I fear that I will always be a 99%er or always be in the second position. I fear that I will live mediocre. So these are my fears in the future, right? So you define fears from different aspects of your life, from the past, from the present, and what will happen in the future that you will fear or that you fear from right now. Now, how to bring up a conclusion? The conclusion is again a call to action. Now, you always need to find a call to action, one way or the other, whenever you attempt a table topic. And that is this fear. The conclusion shall be like this, that this fear made me find a purpose, wake up in the morning, and keep me going. My friends, I do not know what your fears are, but if it is anything similar to mine, then I urge you to find something that makes you fulfilled and do it every single day, right? So you give a very generalistic view of how fears can change in life, right? We have three more topics. One is the zoom method, the sixth one. So in the zoom method, just imagine a pair of camera lens that can zoom in and zoom out of the subject. That is the inspiration for this method. To put it another way, we can talk of a topic in micro level and at macro level. How to understand it? Let's say a topic is something like in helping others to succeed, we ensure our own success. Right? Now, you try to understand it in a micro level, then at a macro level. Same topic, but at the perspective of micro and macro. Let's say in a micro level, you talk of home, right? Where you stress on this topic of in helping others to succeed, we ensure our own success. How to do it? Let's say that at home you have like very noisy kids at your home, and you are a person who is involved in a work from home service, and you are not able to concentrate because of the panderings and pampers that you need to provide to your children. And they are also very noisy at times, so you cannot focus on your work. So what do? You might cane them, you might beat them, you might admonish them, or you can just sit with them and tell them that this is my work that I need to do. You can also understand of it, be cognitive of it, and talk them out with a certain life lesson, perhaps, so that they understand. Like, interestingly, when you treat kids like adults, they behave like adults. That is the point. And that is how you stress on the main point that in helping others to succeed, we ensure our own success. You can talk of it at a macro level. Let's say in your company, while you help your subordinates to enrich or fulfill their own potential, that would help you in attaining your organizational goals. So my point is, in the zoom in, zoom out method, is that whenever you get a topic, try to understand it from a very minute level and explain the topic. Then you move to a very macro level where you explain the same thing in a broader version, and then conclude why the problem statement or the table topic is actually very true. Finally comes the triangle method. The triangle method is something where you take a perspective and define it from three important sources, right? Here you can talk about from three different perspectives, right? Let's say that you are given a topic that what can be your favorite tourist destination, right? And you take three perspectives. First perspective of you, the second perspective might be the perspective of your parents, and third perspective from the perspective of your partner, and talk about the same thing, that what shall be their important or their most important tourist destination, right? And while you talk about it, you conclude that though the solutions can be a variety of it, but yet the conclusion to all of it is that whenever it comes to life, whatever traveler you want to be or whatever you choose, the most important thing is to enjoy your trip. So that here it means that you do not encapsulate that you do not encapsulate in a way by giving just one single mode. Rather, you define three different modes and bring out the common point and tell how that point could be stressed upon and be very important. Finally, since I'm overshooting my time, I believe I would just end by the most important method in table topics, and that is the storytelling method, where you are given a topic, where you engage that topic in a very anecdotal format, where you make the audience enjoy that table topics by letting them know how that topic can be stressed upon your own life, and finally raise your topic by giving a call to action and a very important conclusion. For this, just have a lot of big stories in your head, and whenever you are given a topic, let's say that what would you do if you are robbed, if you went to a bank, or if you go to a bank and you got robbed. Or let's say the topic is something like you go to a bank and just before you reach the entrance, you are pickpocketed. What shall be your notion? At that point, this topic can be attended in a very story format where you might enact it in a very hypothetical situation by putting yourself on that position and how you react to it firsthand. That would provide a very exact notion for the audiences to hear upon you. And finally, you provide a very important or an effective call to action so that an audience will take up from it and
Good morning once again. Learning to give a great speech is important and equally important for all of us to even listen to a speech to analyze it as well. So it is the time for evaluation, which is the most integral part of every Toastmasters meeting. Somebody who believes that from every moment we get to learn so many things. And here we have our evaluator, Toastmaster Ankan, who is a passionate Toastmaster. So please put your hands together to welcome our evaluator, Toastmaster Ankan, on the virtual platform.
When you are adding purpose to your be Pygmalion, that is exactly what you did following your project purpose, adding value to the audience. How? Believe me, someone from a very prestigious business university or someone who has been doing leadership a lot of time, this concept I found very unique. I have never heard of this concept before. And this is very interesting just to set expectation high of your followers. So thanks a lot for adding so much value, so bringing such a brilliant concept, Pygmalion effect. Second thing, what I like most about your speech, not most, your overall speech structure. You started with an audience introduction, then a Greek mythology, then the birth of a management concept, then from your own life example, and then at the last, what to do, how to achieve that. So overall structure, 9 out of 10 for you. Wait, why not 10 of 10? I'm coming to the recommendation part. So for your content, I believe only two small things can be added. Number one, in this Pygmalion effect, there are two stakeholders. One is follower, one is leader. You correctly say it. What if as a follower, you are not getting a leader who is doing Pygmalion effect? But what if you are a leader like me, having around 20 people reporting to me, and I don't know or don't motivated to use the Pygmalion effect? In that case, what is there for the leader? The second regarding content, I believe a little bit of adverse effect of Pygmalion effect, like setting expectation high, but make it sure it will not go apart from the red alarm. And then my final recommendation to your delivery part. But as you joined Toastmaster recently, I believe some of the areas where no required pause was not required, like only one rule was in these areas, or a little bit of voice modulation, but it's only your level one. I'm confident after 1, 2 levels with your dedication, you will be able to achieve it. So please continue your efforts to be aligned with your project, adding value to your audience with some such a great content, but at the same point of time, please try to work a little bit on your delivery part. What do you think, Madam General Evaluator? Over to you.
Thanks a lot. I'm sure this evaluation would be of great help for our speaker. I would also appreciate if she makes a note of the details given to her. Learning happens best in the moments of happiness and enjoyment. I'm sure since morning 10, we have been enjoying learning so many things being imparted to us. Maybe it was with the help of our speaker, or it was with the help of Arindam, who had delivered a great session for table topic speakers. Now, to add on something more, I have my team of evaluators who have also been waiting eagerly to share their reports as well. There is one thing which never stops. In fact, two things. One is your age, whether you like it or you don't like it. And second is tick, 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 tick. That is the ticking of clock. So it is the time for all of us to call on the virtual platform our timer of the day, who is a big foodie. So please welcome Toastmaster Janendra on the virtual platform to know whether we were following our time deadlines or not. So over to Toastmaster Janendra.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. We had one prepared speech section, Ruby. She took, I have mentioned in the group chat as well, 7 minutes, 15 seconds. So she was within that time with a grace period of 30 seconds. And the evaluation, Mr. Toastmaster Ankan, he took 3 minutes and 6 seconds, again within the time grace period of 30 seconds. So both are eligible for the award section at the consequently. So over to you, Madam General.
Thanks a lot. I was so happy today because nobody was obdurate. Everybody was ready to be there for multitasking roles as well. And to add on and share something more is sometimes while speaking, we keep saying, or there are so many ahs and ums. So to help you more, I have my ah counter who is a businesswoman. So please welcome on the virtual platform Toastmaster Pooja, who is ready to share with you the ah counter report.
Good morning again, Madam General Evaluator. Can I share?
Sure. Toastmaster Sushmita, please make sure she has the rights. Are you able to share your screen, Toastmaster Pooja?
No.
Okay.
Can I please like to see?
Toastmaster Sushmita, please do give her the rights to share the screen, or TMOD, please do check.
It's done. It's done.
Is it visible?
Yes, it is visible. You can share the report.
Can everyone see my report?
Yes, it is visible. We all can see.
Smita, flawless. Kshitij, multiple time. So, multiple time. Master Richa Chawla, one time. So, 3 times. Ovani, flawless. Janendra, multiple times. So, multiple times. Ruby, 4 times. So, 2 times. Toshma Ankan, so 1 time. Toastmaster Arindam, 2 times, and so 3 times. Other than that's all from my side. Over to you, Madam General Val.
Thanks a lot, our counter. I'm sure this report is really going to help us to deliver our speeches and perform our roles more effectively and also without ahs and ums. But everything will happen gradually. Don't expect that we will become a rocking speaker just in an overnight. And to take care of our grammatical skills, we have a gentleman who is an avid traveler and, as I said, retired but not tired. So over to Toastmaster Madhusudan to know how did we perform as far as our grammar is concerned.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Hello, everyone. Word of the day was used by General Evaluator twice because this was table topic session. It was actually a workshop. So I can very well say that everyone has used the word of the day. Because it was only a workshop and the speakers were not allowed or whatever, they couldn't get a chance to share their views or speak their heart out. Then, according to quotes or sayings, you have rightly said, we all are learners at the end. And speaker 1 used the Pygmalion effect, which is rare. And we're coming to table topic master, Toastmaster. He has clearly given the acronym for PREP. Acronym for PREP: point, reason, example, and point. That's all. Over to you.
Thanks a lot, Grammarian. We will be inviting you once again after I share my detailed report. Otherwise, I'm sure you will steal the show. So I don't want you to do that. Well, I hope all are eagerly waiting for me also to give me my detailed report. In case you are, then please do be visible on the screens and unmute yourself and give me a loud yes so that I see that yes, you are with me. Hurry up. Unmute yourself, all of you, and be visible on your screens. I should be able to see your cheerful, happy faces, eagerly waiting for the general evaluator to share her report. Ankan, Toastmaster, I need to see you as well.
Madam
Yes.
General Evaluator, I just had to come outside due to some personal purpose. So I'm very much in the meeting, but I can't switch on my video. Sincere apologies.
It's okay. Perfectly understandable.
Can someone take
Globetrotters are empathetic Toastmasters. So we give you the privilege to do your justice as well. We just want your presence. Okay. Now, to start with, my report started the moment I got the invitation and I got the request to become the general evaluator. So please don't mind. The moment I get that invitation, I started with all my reports thing. The very first thing was I would really appreciate if whomsoever makes the creative and posters, please don't do it at the very nick of time. It would be a pleasure to see the poster and the invitations on all the WhatsApp group, at least like on Tuesdays or by Wednesdays latest, if you are looking for a quality as well as a good quantity as well. I leave it to the executive to decide what will be the final day for the creatives and for the invitees to be posted in all the WhatsApp group. Otherwise, all your hard work will not be so much fruitful. The second thing what I noticed and everybody would also have struggled was it would have been easier for all the role players to join the meeting at least 15 minutes before. But because of certain issues on the back end team, we were just figuring out how to enter the meeting room because the host was not there and there were so many other things happening. So I would also appreciate if things are being taken care before we actually start inviting people. The management, the executive should have their meeting as well in order to take care that everything goes smoothly. I was actually enthralled and very much happy to see that nobody was obdurate. Everybody was happily taking up the roles even on the spot, as it was visible. Like Toastmaster Sushmita happily took up the role of Sergeant at Arms as well. Being the president, she never felt that, it is not my job. Everybody was happy. It was visible on her face. It was great to see that our grammarian is also taking care as an active listener. It is not easy, believe me, to do multiple roles. And in fact, Toastmaster Shushmita, our president, she was also handling the technical issues. I mean, as a Zoom master also, she was taking care and she was delivering her speech as well. But at the same time, I would also appreciate and advise and would also urge the executive to please monitor the mission of the Toastmaster was missing. So please don't do it. Do not do it ever, please. It is a norm of Toastmasters to share the Toastmasters mission, and it should be shared preferably by the Sergeant at Arms. If not, whomsoever is starting or opening the meeting, please do share that. The best way to do that is make every member speak that so that everybody learns it by heart. And I would also appreciate if the active listener or whomsoever takes care as a role of active listener should ask maybe, twice or thrice a month, so that everybody is able to recall it. It was great to see like most of the things were being taken care, no matter whether the Zoom master was not there, no matter like there were so many things that were happening on the back end, but finally everything went on smoothly. I was happy to see the way Toastmaster Ankan presented his detailed report. I would also appreciate if whomsoever is the evaluator, please do follow the CRC approach, which is also a norm of Toastmasters. It is commendation, recommendation, and again end it up with the commendation, so that our speaker feels motivated and is encouraged to be back on the stage again and again. It was a pleasure to have Toastmaster of the day, Kshitij. Like the theme was appropriate because we are heading towards 15th August, that is our Independence Day. It was nice to see the way he had made it so interactive. Audience was totally engaged in his session. We were all enjoying sharing our personal stories, and the way he was conducting, amazing. He was calm, composed, and I could also see that during the TTM session taken up by Toastmaster Anandam, it was pretty hectic for him. It was visible, Toastmaster Kshitij, but don't just get away. You have to be present as a Toastmaster of the day. Then it was nice to see Toastmaster Madhusudan taking up the role of the grammarian. The moment I requested him to post the word on the chat box, he did it. It was nice to see even the timer never gave up. Initially, he was struggling, but as said, that practice makes a man perfect. So we could all see the way he took up the role of a timer, and he was able to display all the three cards well on time. Great job. Then I was also enjoying the speech delivered by our only speaker. In fact, Pygmalion is my favorite topic too. It was there during my school days. And anything else? Let me see. Yes, I would also appreciate if most of us should encourage all to please be visible on their cameras. Otherwise, it will be difficult for the speaker to actually enjoy being in Toastmasters, because it is for our growth, our betterment. It is also important for us to be taken care to take care of our non-verbal skills as well. So we should know how to face the cameras. We should know that whether our facial expressions are resonating with our words or not. So please, my dear friends, try to maintain a diary. You all must have seen me also. I prefer making notes every time. I am a distinguished Toastmaster and award winner. I've got more than 100 awards. But still, I believe that, as pointed out by Toastmaster Ankan, we learn every moment. So please, my dear friends, try to maintain a diary, whether it is the report shared by the grammarian, the R counter, timer, or the evaluator. Every report is going to help you to be a better performer, and also will help you to become a great human being as well. So I'm sure this report must have helped you in some way or the other. Thanks a lot. So it is time for the active listener to figure out whether we were actively present or we were just there for formality. So over to Toastmaster Madhusudan.
Hello, everyone. We all know 25th December is Christmas, celebrated all over the world. But 25th December is a red letter day for one among those present here, to whom I am relating to. Any guess?
I think you will have to disclose the answer.
I think it is for you only, madam. I think you started Toastmaster 25th December.
15 December. It's okay. It's okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Then In one of the speeches we heard, I would ask you to fill up the blanks. Dash is a continuous process. Who said this?
Learning is a continuous process.
Exactly.
By
Who said this?
Richa, DTM Richa.
Exactly, sir. Full marks, 100 out of 100 to you. And then we have been on virtual platform, we have been seeing most of our speakers and listeners. At the background, we had a beautiful window. How many squares were there?
Eight.
Sorry, sir, it is 12. That's all, madam.
Wow, wow. I was not able to answer all, though I tried my level best. So this is what adds lot of flavor and spices in every Toastmasters meeting. Wheresoever you are, you will just have to go to Toastmasters International website and figure out the nearest club, attend the Toastmasters meeting. In case you are not able to visit, please remember Globetrotters is always there, open for everybody to enjoy your Sunday morning with a dose, a motivational dose, and a lot to learn. So over to Toastmasters of the day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Gender Evaluator, for that insightful evaluation and also making this session sort of come to a very, very nice closure that we could all learn from. And now I would like to hand over the stage for closing remarks from our presiding officer, Toastmaster Shushmita, and she would take the reins of this meeting now. So over to you, Toastmaster Shushmita.
Can we have a big round of applause for our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Kshitij? He is very new to Toastmaster fraternity, and I am telling you, I delivered my first speech almost after 3 months. Now he is taking Toastmaster of the day. Really great. Thank you, Toastmaster Kshitij. I request everyone to vote. Please vote for the role players. Toastmasters, by the time Toastmaster Kshitij is sharing the result with me, I would like to thank you, DTM Richa, for taking the role as general evaluator. And madam, all the pointers are taken. I have noted everything and we'll discuss and we will try to make the meeting more smooth for our improvement. And I am really thankful to Toastmaster Ankan to take up the evaluator role proactively. I even did not, our VP Education did not even reach to him. He only reached us like he wanted to take up evaluator role. I request everyone to follow him. We don't have to tell, please take up the role. Can you take? Instead, please come on this podium, enjoy. Like today, I really enjoyed. I also had some other things to do, but I enjoyed this whole meeting a lot. We had some glitches, but still I have enjoyed every moment of the meeting. And thank you, Toastmaster Madhusudan, for taking up that last dose. It was like icing on the cake. We enjoyed it a lot. And thank you, Toastmaster Arindam, for taking us through a very wonderful table topic session. And I think all our new Toastmaster now, they will not hide behind the camera when table topic session is up. Yeah, that's my experience also. I used to do the same, hide behind camera, immediately table topic master was on screen. And I thanks each and every member of the meeting who has joined the meeting. And before I disclose the result, I would like to invite our area director, Toastmaster Mrinal, to spill a couple of words.
Thank you for inviting me. It's a great pleasure for me. So I thoroughly enjoyed the meeting. I learned a lot of new things from our general evaluator, DTM Richa. And I also love the workshop, TTM workshop, talking about 3 models, which is very interesting. And onus on us how we can implement that prep model, pendulum model, or balance model. So these three are very critical for any table topic and how you use that. And another thing we learned from our general evaluator, how to maintain the good quality of the meeting. That is important. Each and every point we should note down to becoming a better versions of ourselves. So each and every day, whenever I'm attending Toastmaster meeting, I always try to add something in my brain. So that is possible because of spending a quality of time with all of you. So without that, it's not possible. So few things we need to take care of that. So I think that I can discuss later to maintain the quality of the meeting. And yes, challenges are definitely will be there in our life, but how as a team we need to overcome, that is important. So at this moment, I must say that GTC is doing fabulous job. Why? Because all the members, most of the meeting are handled by, there is no dual meeting in online club. That's the one great thing happening in GTC. More than 12 members are already registered till December 2020, March 2024. Another point I want to highlight it, that's most of the members, they are take up the role. We are not dependent on any other club member. So these are the three things. You people are doing a great job. I must appreciate that. With that, I just want to hand over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Now it's time for the results. Okay, now today we have only best primary and secondary role players. As we had one speaker and one evaluators, they are already winner. It's a goal like when you don't have the defender or goalkeeper, but still it's congratulations. You can cheer that up. It was not your fault. So whenever it's a goal, it's a goal. And that will be noted. And now it's time for the base primary role player. I don't think we have any guesses. I just want to tell you, whenever the meeting energy was going a little bit down, it was again going up. Immediately she was on podium. So our base primary role player is none other than very energetic DTM Richa. Congratulations, ma'am. Please come and share your evaluation. I have like normally general evaluator, what they does, they evaluate only speakers, but you really evaluated the meeting as a whole. That's what written. The general evaluator will do the evaluation as a whole, but we generally get only for the speakers and evaluators, not the meeting as a whole. So all the points will be taken care hopefully, and I invite you once again after 1 month to check like how we are doing. You can even come after 15 days.
You. Actually, I believe Globetrotters is my own family. So I want to see them growing every day. I want to see them at greater heights. That is the reason.
Thank you. Thank you. Now it's time for our best secondary role player. And as always in Globetrotters Toastmaster Club, it's a tie between our today's timer TM Jainendra and our grammarian Toastmaster Madhusudhan. So congratulations to both of you. Thank you. And with this, I close the meeting. Thank you. And now the meeting floor is open for little chit chat.